Hello and welcome to GC360, your source for the latest news and stories from the heart of our community and beyond. I'm Amelie Sengupta and we have a packed show for you today.
And I'm Rowan. Whether you're a student, faculty member, or just someone interested in what's happening in our community, GC360 is here to keep you informed and engaged. Coming up, a healthcare crisis in rural areas has been a long-standing challenge. What is the city of Milledgeville doing about it?
A rise in school lunch debt is afflicting students all across Georgia. Stay with us to find out more. And self-diagnoses on the internet are becoming more recurrent. How harmful can it be to self-diagnose? All of this and more on GC360, where news comes full circle. In small rural areas, access to healthcare may be challenging. Whitney Welch takes a look at how rural communities are finding ways to stay healthy and what actions are being taken to provide the best small care in a small town.
Living in rural areas comes with unique challenges, especially when it comes to healthcare. Limited access to medical professionals, long travel distances, and financial barriers make it harder for people in these communities to get the care that they need. Nursing professor Dr. Cochran raises her concerns about the transportation to healthcare in rural areas.
So I would say the main challenges that people who live in rural areas face with healthcare is just literal access to it. Being able to get to a doctor's office. They may not have a car. They may not have money to get to a farther away area. So just the physical aspect of getting to a provider.
Nursing professor Dr. Goldsberry discusses the challenges that rural areas face with healthcare.
Usually in rural areas, not only do those people seem to have more health risks, but they also have more barriers as far as insurance. Are they underinsured? Do they have to make a decision between buying groceries and buying medications for the month? So that kind of thing. People who are not financially able to have healthier foods and all of that kind of stuff, they tend to have more chronic diseases.
Dr. Cochran also speaks about the GCSU's nursing program.
So, of course, here at Georgia College and State University, we do have a very robust nursing program. We train bachelor prepared nurses, and then we also do have advanced practice degrees. So we are training here at Georgia College these practitioners, and the great majority of them want to stay in Georgia, and so this would be a way that we can help to meet that need.
While healthcare in rural areas present its challenges, the nursing programs at GCSU are making a positive impact on Milledgeville's rural communities every day. Reporting from GC360, I'm Whitney Welch.
School lunch debt is a problem for many students across the country, hindering their health and education. Margot Peters shows us how this issue is impacting families and what local communities are doing to help.
School lunch debt has been an issue for years, impacting students across the country. It brings up an important question. Should students even have to pay for their meals at school? Many students have found themselves in situations where they couldn't afford lunch, often leaving them with little or nothing to eat. Education major Madeline Lowe shared her thoughts.
I feel like it should be the school system's point to manage, just because for the well-being of the students, I feel like, some parents, some students, they don't have the right resources to either afford it or provide their own lunches. So I feel like the school system should have some funds allotted towards the well-being of school lunches, because it's a very important part, the breakfast and the lunch, for the students to be able to correctly, interact within the classroom and get the education that they need.
When students can't afford lunch, the consequences go way beyond hunger. Missing meals can affect their concentration, energy levels, and overall academic performance. Most times, children who don't eat enough struggle to focus in class and often score lower on tests. Education major Addie Nichols had something to say about this.
I do think that there can be an impact on students who don't have that food, because as an education major, like, I know that if students don't get their necessities or what they need first, they can't be there for class. They can't be there like mentally or emotionally if they're not getting the care that they need for their day-to-day life.
As the impact of lunch debt continues to grow, many are asking whether school staff should do more to address the issue. Teachers and cafeteria workers have been on the front lines of this problem, and some have started to wonder if it's time to turn to social media as a way to raise funds and support.
With, raising your own funds and not having it, go through, just certain people in the community, that can have, you don't know where those funds are going, whether they're going to the person, if they're going to the right spot, if they're being transferred somewhere else. And so that's just where some confusion can happen, where it could, not be good. So that just depends on the school system and how it's done. Is it done through a GoFundMe? Is it done through donations? Or does it come straight to the schools?
School lunch debt is an ongoing issue, and no student should go without a meal. Every student deserves a chance to learn without hunger holding them back. Reporting for GC360, I'm Margot Peters.
Young people are using TikTok as the new Google. With this, mental health self-diagnoses have increased, leading to stress and anxiety. Annie Mitchell talked to students about this concern.
As social media usage begins to rise, so does the presence of content creators and influencers. Teens and young adults are beginning to use social media as a resource outlet for self-diagnosis, especially when it comes to physical and mental health. Emma Chamberlain brought it up in her podcast on CNN. Her take on the issue is to not feed into it. If you think something is wrong with you, you go to the doctor. Colin Mitchell, a current freshman at KSU, gives his take on the matter.
I am on TikTok a lot, and when I scroll through TikTok, sometimes I get some mental health TikToks, and if I do interact with them in any way, shape, or form, it's on my For You page for the rest of the day, and most of them are clickbait, whether it's a TikTok shop product to help you with your mental health, or just a video to tell you about, like what you're going through, and like trying to self-diagnose you when it's not even something that really relates to as much. And I don't know, I think it can be for likes or for clout, but yeah, it could be damaging to your mental health, and it could cause you to think that you have that in your own form, even though it's not something that you're going through at all.
Social media has slowly taken over our everyday lives. Most people wake up and immediately check their socials in what's known as doom scroll for hours on end. Watching videos that claim to be improving your mental health while scrolling alone can harm you mentally. Self-diagnosis on social media can lead to incorrect perception of one's mental health, and as a result can cause unnecessary stress and anxiety. Teens and young adults are turning to social media not only for entertainment, but guidance on these issues, and can be receiving false presumptions on the matter. Reporting for GC360, I'm Annie Mitchell.
Coming up after the break, a Georgia college student is creating her own business right here on campus. How does she do it?
Lights, camera, action! Bobcat Media Production hosted their annual film festival at GCSU.
And stay with us, because after the break, we'll take a look at behind the scenes of GCSU's latest musical. All of this and more on GC360, where news comes full circle.
I'm Eric Griffiths. I am the interim chair of the Department of Theater and Dance. Our general mission, of course, is teaching theater artists, actors, designers, technicians. Of course, students will specialize in certain areas, but they will know, if an actor leaves here and that is their goal is to perform, they will also know how to hang a light. They will know how to sew a button on a costume. They have these other skills. So we offer kind of a mix of the soft skills and the hard skills for doing the work. Our goal is to create a well-rounded theater artist that knows a little bit about everything that goes into producing theater.
welcome back. A freshman student has started a nail salon right in her Foundation Hall dorm room. Reporter Talia Hayes shows how she got started and the clientele she built.
At Georgia College, students are known for their creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. But one freshman is turning her passion into profit, right from her dorm room. Meet Samantha Sammy Oakley, a freshman whose nail business has become the talk of Foundation Hall.
I got started in December after I went to a nail appointment that didn't go so well, and I decided I could probably do it better myself. So I bought the supplies off of Amazon for pretty cheap, and I started practicing on friends and family and myself a lot. And I made a lot of mistakes, but eventually it became like really fun. And now it's just a little hobby I have.
What began as a hobby has transformed into a thriving campus business. With social media as her main marketing tool, Sammy has built a loyal clientele of fellow students.
I market my services on Instagram and TikTok. I started doing it as a joke between like me and my friends, and then it just kind of became like this thing where people would reach out to me and ask me to do their nails, so I started putting my prices on there, and now I have a pretty loyal clientele.
Lauren Rogers is one of Sammy's regular clients, making the trip to Foundation Hall every 3 weeks for a fresh set.
It's a very comfortable environment. She has her roommate there, which contributes to the conversation, and she offers a blanket. It's very nice and comfortable and cozy.
Sammy has found a way to turn her passion into both profit and community. As word spreads across campus, Sammy continues to build her business one nail at a time. Reporting for GC360, I'm Talia Hayes.
Bobcat Media Productions hosted their annual film festival where both high school and college students walked on the red carpet and showcased their films. Andrew Brown and Teresa Owen were there to capture it.
We're here for GC360. I'm Andrew, and this is the Bobcat Multimedia Film Festival, where high school students and college students alike have all come to show off their own films. So let's see what it's all about. Tell me a little bit about the film.
It is a documentary about a local band, well, kind of a band that has members all over the state, but it's a documentary about how they kind of use being all over the state and still create music and play shows.
Absolutely, it's a great crowd y'all got here. People from all over the state. How does that make you feel just to see so many like young filmmakers, high school, college, come from all over the state? How does that make y'all feel as an organization?
It is really exciting. Our biggest focus with this event was to get high schools involved, especially if they're interested in coming to Georgia College. It's a great way to network, make connections, and get your foot in the door, especially if you want to get involved with the film club and just making films in general. It's great to network, so we're really excited that high schools are able to attend.
Where you grew up. Yeah. Is this do you take any inspiration from like any other films, or just more strictly from what you've experienced in your life?
I made this film because since I've lived in Savannah my whole life, I didn't know anything about the water. Like I've never been on a boat, I've never been fishing, none of that. So I felt like it was important to
What does it mean to y'all to be able to drive all the way to Milledgeville, Georgia to show off your work to other aspiring young filmmakers of various ages and grades?
So for me, it's a reaffirmation. It nails down why was I in college for 5 years? Why did I spend all this time making this? From beginning to end, this 8-minute film took us 8 months to perfect. So being able to come out here and share it with the world and see other people's reactions, especially months removed from when we finished it, reaffirms that, yes, this is what I want to do with my life. This is why I spent so much time. This is why we all spend so much time, is to be able to get to the point where we share it with the world.
All right, well, this is Andrew Brown signing off for GC360, where news comes full circle.
Finnegan is a Russian musical that our fellow Bobcats produced and performed this semester. Reporter Karis Philo spoke with cast members about their creative process.
GCSU students and GCSU theater majors all took a helping hand in producing Onegin. Some of the cast members share what drew them to this production.
It was first announced that we would be doing Onegin. I was very interested. I was like, hey, this sort of appeals to me. The style of the show was one that I like more, has like a rock element versus like classical.
Well, this is the first show that I've done here, obviously, because I'm a freshman, and I love musicals. It's kind of like my niche.
The production of Onegin took lots of planning as well as advertising.
I had rehearsals pretty much like every day of the week, which can be a lot, but honestly, it was really fun, and like you're around such a like positive group of people.
Onegin stars share their experience with prepping and participating in the production compared to their high school experiences.
With college productions, especially here, we have such an amazing department where we have people collaborating on everything. So as well as working in the show as a actor, I helped build the set because I work in the scene shop. I helped design and create some of the costumes that many of the characters wore.
Obviously, we have more budget, and there's like a lot more things that we can do, which is so nice.
Onegin showed at the Russell Auditorium 5 nights in a row. Cast members share how they keep up the energy during all these performances.
You're really putting in like everything you can give. And so keeping up energy is one of the biggest things, that we just have a good bond within the cast.
Like hype warm-ups before we even like start getting ready. And especially like in the girls' dressing room, we're all talking while we're getting ready.
Onegin stars share their favorite pre-show hacks.
Gotta have a Red Bull or a Celsius before, or like a loaded tea.
And this is very strange, but I found it helps a lot of singers, but me especially, is Sour Patch Kids.
I'm Karis Philo, reporting for GC360.
Simran Puri is here with us, bringing sunshine to the studio. What's the weather looking like next week?
Thanks, V. I hope you've enjoyed the beautiful weather we've seen this week, because things are starting to look warm and gloomy next week. Starting with Friday, things will start to feel warmer. We'll see some partly cloudy skies with a high of 83 and a low of 59. On Saturday, it'll look about the same with a high of 82 and a low of 63, so better get those shorts and skirts out of your closet. On Sunday, expect showers throughout the day with a high of 80 and a low of 64. The rain will reduce the temperatures for next week, so on Monday, the high will be of 75 and the low will drop down to 54 degrees later at night. And don't forget to get an umbrella for class because it will be raining most of the day. On Tuesday, expect partly cloudy skies with a high of 80 and a low of 61. The rain and heat may cause some humidity, so I recommend you postpone that blowout. And we're keeping up the energy on Wednesday, which will look about the same with a high of 84 and a low of 64. But beware because we might see some showers throughout the day. And lastly, Thursday will be the warmest day of the week, with 89 degrees as a maximum and 64 as a minimum. I hope you have a great weekend, Bobcats. I'm Simran Puri, back to you.
Thanks, Simran. Coming up on GC360 after the break, Bobcats baseball is back on the schedule. What is their game plan for the upcoming season?
And we'll look at the latest entertainment news with Sophia Fontanillas.
And GC360 went to New York. We'll tell you all about it after the break, where news comes full circle.
My name is Kathleen O'Neill, and I'm the costume shop supervisor and instructor for the theater department. So the costume department does a lot of different things. It helps teach our theater majors what costuming is for theater in general and for film. A lot of students come in to be theater majors not knowing that tech is going to have to be part of their major, and they don't know how to sew, they don't know how a costume shop works, and so that's my job to teach them. Most of the time they take the skills they learn in here and then they apply it to their life. And I hear all the time that they come in and they're like, Kathleen, I sewed a button on my pants because you taught me how to do it. And it just makes me feel good. But yes, they do take what they learn in here and apply it to their personal life.
Welcome back. We're all about sports at GC360. Courtney Tabacki is here to tell us the latest.
Thanks, B. Good afternoon, Bobcats, and I hope you had a great spring break.
Recently in Georgia College athletics, 2 of our Bobcats have recently been awarded some good titles. Bradley Wilson, one of GC's senior baseball players, has been named Pitcher of the Week by the Peach Belt Conference. This is his second time this year receiving this accolade. Wilson pitched 8 shutout innings in an 8-0 win over Flagler College on March 22nd. Bradley is third in the PBC in innings, pitched with 48.1 total innings. He is also tied for third in wins with 5 total, fourth in earned run average with a 2.79 ERA, and seventh in opponent batting average of .243. Awesome work, Bradley! Another star Bobcat earning the same title is Tiffany Cabin, a sophomore softball player. She pitched 7 shutout innings, where Bobcats won 3-0. Cabin leads the league in opponent batting average of 1.86 and is second in strikeouts, with 87 total, and has 7 wins, which is tied for 7th. Great job, Tiffany! The women's tennis team claimed victory over Lander University, winning 5-2. This marks their 8th consecutive match, improving to 12-2 overall and to 3-0. Awesome job, ladies! Later that same evening, Georgia College and North Greenville University split a non-conference softball doubleheader. Greenville won the first game 6-5, but GCSU was victorious on the second game, scoring 9-1. That's all I have for sports this week. Have a Bob-tastic week. Back to you.
After winning the Peach Belt Championship last season, the GCSU baseball team is ready to play again. Reporter Simran Puri spoke with the players and coaches about their approach for the next season.
GC faculty and students came together to support our Bobcats on the baseball field against Emmanuel State University. GCSU baseball team has been putting in the hard work and getting ready for this year's Peach Belt Conference. Head coach Nolan Belcher has more to say on the season.
There was a lot of excitement early on in the season. We had been picked preseason number 1 by the coaches in the Peach Belt. But once you begin your new season, you kind of move on and stay in the present and try to worry about what you're doing at the moment. Just tell our players to work hard and be good teammates and try to improve each and every day. And to the fans, just come out and support us at John Kurtz Field.
Junior player Gabe Worth, who recently received the Peach Belt Player of the Week, speaks on what this award means to him.
It's a great achievement. It's kind of just a byproduct of doing everything I can to help my team win and just going out there and playing hard. We put in countless hours out here as a team and countless hours myself, whether it's in the weight room, in the cages, getting extra workout on the field.
Along with Gabe, many other players are always showing up to practices and putting in the hard work for their team. Player Braden Smith talks about what Georgia College's baseball team has to offer him.
Love. We all love each other. We're all brothers. It's like a big brotherhood, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I love it here. Baseball means everything to me. It has made me a better person overall. It's made me grow so many great relationships that I'm super thankful for and that I'll cherish forever.
After their win at the Peach Belt Championship last season, GCSU's baseball team is working hard to achieve this again. Reporting for GC360, I'm Simran Puri.
We're turning now to the world of entertainment with Sophia Fontanillas. What's new, Sophia?
Thanks, Amelie. There is some good news for Marvel fans. For the latest film, Avengers Doomsday, is expected to premiere in May of next year. The film's star-studded cast includes Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom, Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson, Paul Rudd as Ant-Man, and Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova. Are you excited? Moving on, Puerto Rican music artist Bad Bunny is turning up the heat in his Calvin Klein campaign, leaving fans buzzing with excitement. The campaign mixes Latin music with fashion in a culture that is in a way that is unique to Bad Bunny's style. Finally, Disney's Snow White live-action remake was released last Friday, grossing $40 million in the box office on its opening weekend, which is a startlingly low number for Disney standards. Rachel Zegler, casted as Snow White, has struck controversy after she badmouthed the 1937 Snow White. Disney is yet to comment on the situation, but it seems Zegler won't be living happily ever after with this film. That's all I have for entertainment. Back to you.
Thanks, Sophia, and happy Thursday! The GC360's executive team and WGUR went to New York for the Intercollegiate Broadcasting System Conference. At the awards ceremony, WGUR's former news director Ethan Molinier won Best News Feature Award. The feature was an interview with President Kathy Cox. Ethan shared his insight on this piece, which stood out.
So I think the most impactful part of this interview and the reason why it stood out was just Kathy Cox's explanation for why our electronic voting system is safe and secure, because she was there firsthand implementing electronic voting for the first time in the state of Georgia. So she was able to dissuade any of these falsehoods, any of these rumors that electronic voting was getting tampered with, votes were getting removed. She was able to dissuade all of these rumors, and while doing so, actively encourage students and young people to get active and do their civil duty and go out and vote. And I think bringing her voice on a platform like that was incredibly important, especially right as election night was coming up. So I think just having her firsthand perspective was what made my interview stand out.
Congrats, Ethan. While attending, GC360's Technical Director, Erin Finnegan, and WGUR's General Manager, Ansley Kate Allen, made an appearance on the Today Show and gave a shout out to Milledgeville.
Finnegan and Kate shared with the GC360 what the experience meant for them.
Getting to visit Rockefeller Plaza and getting to be on the Today Show was really surreal. I've been a fan of the Today Show since I was a little girl and even now, so it was really cool, and it definitely kind of pushed me in a certain direction for my goals as far as broadcasting goes and my future after I graduate, so it was really special.
Well, to be honest, it wasn't on my bucket list for this whole New York trip, but Ansley Kate really wanted to go, and I was like, why not? We're already there. Waking up early in the morning isn't that big of a deal. So we went, and honestly, it ended up being my favorite part, just because I'm getting really close to graduating, and trying to decide a career after college has been kind of difficult. So getting to talk to her producer was really nice, and getting to see how it is in real life broadcasting, just because I've helped produce the show here and there. But I've been more on the technical side, so trying to figure out which one I wanted was really cool, and he really helped me out a lot, so it was really nice getting to do that.
But that's not all. Our executive team got to meet the cast of the Saturday Night Live. Mikey Day and Heidi Gardner were there to answer a few questions.
Imagine you're working out. Lord Gaga!
Okay. Hi. Question for you. Yeah. You work for our college news station. What's your favorite thing about broadcasting?
I guess just how surprising it is. I mean, being on live TV, it's unexpected. Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Can we do a quick photo?
Yeah.
Oh, you've seen it. Yes.
The collegiate news station.
What is your favorite part being on Eslinger?
Wow, that's difficult. There's so many things. It is fantastic, obviously.
That's all for GC360 this week, Bobcats. Thank you for joining us today, and make sure you tune in next Thursday at 4 p.m. on NBC TV4 through the Cablecast app. I'm B. Rowan.
And I'm Amelie Sengupta. When we are not on the air, we keep you up to date on our social media. That's at GC360 News on Instagram and YouTube, and at bobcatmultimedia.com/GC360. Always available to you where news comes full circle. See you next week.